I am in the kitchen cooking some good old fashioned chicken and rice. Rice just about done. So I want to know how many of you have used your own money to start your business. Do you know why you shouldn't use your own money to start your business? Got a clue? Let me share with you. One, because you'll never have enough. There's always things that you didn't think about. There's things that you don't know about, especially if you don't do your research. But people don't think about licensing. They don't think about inspections, depending on the job. They don't think about any extra inspections that they may need to get. You might have to get fire extinguishers done, new fire extinguishers done for the business. You have to make sure all your exits are, if you're doing a physical business, that all your exits have lit exit signs. Um, and then we're not even talking about renovation, painting, flooring. It depends on the space that you go into. But at the end of the day, you use your money, and what about your bills? What about your house bills? What about everything that you got to do at home? Like, it just doesn't make sense when you use other people's money or you use funding to start your business. Not only do you get your business set up well, um, and you have more money to play with, because if you need extra, you can use your own or you can get another loan, and you can leverage your money. That's the key. The key is to leverage your money to do what you need to do. Now, here's the beautiful part about it is that while you're doing that, you're also building your business credit, which is what you want to do. So by the time you get your company or your business or whatever it is you're doing opened up, now you have business credit to operate with, because you need operating expenses. So all of these things are really, really, really important. I mean, like, I can't stress how important these things are. That you do your research, you write out a business plan, you write out, even if it's not a regular traditional business plan, write out a business plan enough, or a plan of action that you can execute A, B, C, D, E, and you can knock them out and check them off. Because I promise you, things are going to come up and you're going to say, well, I didn't know I had to do that. Well, I didn't know this business needed that. Well, I didn't know. Because you didn't do your research, people. Research, research, research. Research is important. So many people go in and they jump into these businesses and they don't know about inspections. They don't know about um, their overhead. They didn't calculate the overhead of supplies, painting, remodeling, um, just the foundation of the business itself. And then that's not even going on if you're doing a physical business and you have to have insurance. You have to get, you know, there's so many things, and people just don't pay attention. They don't do their research to find out what all they need. Your licensing alone can can take months. I knew a person that, um, and they had done this business before. They had a gun shop, and they went into this strip mall thinking everything was going to be easy because this place had had a gun shop prior to that, right? So hey, Katie, how you doing, Katie? And they go in to do a gun shop. They figured the strip mall had a gun shop already, so it should be easy. Well, how about they get in there and there's extra licensing that they needed to get. There's extra, I'm going good, it's going good. It's extra licensing they needed to get. They had to get a certain type of inspection. They had to change all the lighting in the place. They had to change, they had to get extra fire extinguishers. And then they had to map out, they had to pay an architect to do a schematic of the whole store in order for the gun people to give them the license to operate out of that store. So, mind you, now they're already paying rent. They didn't know how to negotiate and get their first 3 months for free. So, they had to do the painting, came out of pocket, everything. I'm talking about not using your own money to set up a business. So I'm talking about different people that I've helped and that I've talked to, that I help correct some of the mistakes that they've made in going into a business. Subbed. What do you mean? What do you mean you subbed? You subbed what? What does that mean? So what we're talking about is mistakes, not how to not make these costly mistakes. And mind you, again, this is people that um, had a gun shop in prior locations, but they didn't do their research for this particular location. And 6 months down the line, they ended up still paying rent, still paying all their other stuff, and they couldn't put up a sign. They couldn't open up for business because their inspections didn't pass, because they had to wait for an architect to do the schematic of the store. They had to wait for that to get approved. Then they had other inspections that they had to get. Thank you, Katie. Thank you for subscribing. And so 6 months down the line, they still can't do business because they didn't do their legwork. They didn't do their research in that location. So all of these things I tell you because, I don't want you guys to make these same mistakes. And that's what the channel is going to be here for. This is what I'm here for, to help you guys not make the same costly mistakes. So keep checking back. How do I know that? Because I have opened, closed, by the way, Google, subscribe. Thank you. I know this because I grew up in family businesses. I've had numerous businesses over the years myself, but for 45 years, I have had brick and mortar businesses. I've helped operate brick and mortar businesses. I've helped other people open up businesses, warehouses, online stores, different types of businesses. And I've made mad mistakes. When I was opening my stores up, nobody was there to tell me what to do and what not to do. Yeah, I'm about to end in a minute, baby. And so I'm coming in and I'm talking to you guys and I'm giving you guys some gems and whatever I can do to help. Drop your anything you want to know in the chats and I'll answer you. So thank you for coming through. I'm making dinner, so I'm gonna get back to finishing that up. See, I'm gonna get my dinner together. So bye guys. Thanks.